What's up, everybody? This is Kevin,
And Victor.
and in this video, I'm going to be talking about my bulking process. So, to gain muscle mass, it's like a bulking, and then you cut, and then you bulk again, you cut to put on muscle, and that's just the proven way to do it. That's how everybody does it. So, right now I'm bulking, and this is my first bulk. I started I'd say about 2 months ago when I was still in college on my first year at U of I. So that's when I started bulking. And I've gained about 4 pounds since then. So I'm going to go over some of my current stats, and then I'm going to talk about what is bulking and what you have to do, and then my current experience that I have so far. So my calorie maintenance is about 2,180 calories. I went online and I put in some information into this website, and that's what it told me. You can do that too, but I really don't know how accurate that really will be because every person's metabolism and body is different, so I don't know how accurate that is, but that's my calorie maintenance. And my current macros, I don't really judge my diet off of how many calories I eat per day. I do it off of my macros. So right now, my macros are 500 grams of carbs, about 180 grams of protein, and about between 90 to 100 grams of fats each day. It's roughly around 3,400 calories a day. If the website is true, then it's about 1,200, 300 calories over my maintenance level. So definitely a lot more than what I usually eat. And to eat all this food, I thought it was really going to be really easy, but it's actually hard to keep this up and to eat all this food every single day and to remember to do it. So what I like to do is, instead of eating 3 large meals a day, I like to split it up into 6 or 7 smaller meals, and I like to make it the day before up or in the morning, all the stuff, so I can just not have to spend time to cook everything up and then eat it. And so basically I have to eat a lot of carbs, so I have to eat a lot of 500 carbs. So I eat a lot of brown rice, a lot of pastas, a lot of multi-grain breads, Chipotle burritos, stuff like that. And protein, I in the beginning I ate a lot more protein, but then I realized I don't have to because I'm bulking. You really only need to eat 1 pound per gram. No, I'm sorry. 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So I'm around 164, so I eat about like 170, 180 grams of protein a day. It's more important when you're cutting to make sure your protein intake is high. And
studies show, I forgot the exact number, but they say the amount of protein you need is only between it was either like 0.7 or 0.8 to 1 gram per body pound.
So 1 gram is the higher end.
That's the higher end, you know. So
So I actually, not everyone does this, but I track my my macros through a app, really good app called FitnessPal. You can get on the Apple Store, the App Store. I don't know if Android has it. Do you know if they have it?
Probably.
Okay,
Probably.
yeah. So you can just put in your stuff. It has a big database for all the food. So that's what I do to track everything. So when you start to bulk, you really have to not mess around. You really have to experiment with how much food you eat. Because in the beginning, my macros was lower. It was like 350 grams of carbs, and I realized I wasn't making progress fast enough, I guess. So I had to jump up my carbs. And that's usually what you have to do when you're bulking, I think. Your carbs are the main component of your diet, I would say.
Yeah.
And so I had to jump it up to 500 carbs, and I've gained about 4.5 pounds since I came back. So pretty steady. I've been back for about 4 weeks, so it's about a pound and a little more per week. So I'm staying with 500 carbs for now, but you really have to experiment with it. I can't tell you your macros because everyone's body is different. You're really gonna have to see for yourself and then make the proper adjustments. Yeah, so the most important part is making sure you're eating calorie surplus, making sure you're eating more than you're expending per day, and yeah, so you really have to eat a lot, guys. It's bulking is a lot less complicated in my opinion than cutting because it's more important. Like if you eat if you go over your calorie surplus and you don't really exactly track what you eat, it's okay because you're still eating more than you regularly should. So that's the most important part. What else?
2 different types.
Right, 2 different types of bulking. There's dirty bulking and clean bulking. It's pretty self-explanatory. Dirty bulking is more you're not really exactly watching what kind of carbs, what kind of foods you're putting in. You're just making sure you're hitting. The main focus on that, I think, is just the calories. If you're making sure you're hitting all the calories, not really watching the ratios between your macros. And clean is just you're more careful. You're tracking more of what you're eating. You're tracking what carbs and proteins and fats you're eating, and that's what I'm doing. It is a little harder and it takes a little more discipline, but I think if you clean bulk, the fat to muscle ratio that you take in is going to be better.
Yeah, basically, if you dirty bulk, you're generally going to be you're going to end up with more fat on your body at the end, and what that means is like you'll have a better time when you're bulking. I guess you can eat more food, you can eat dirtier food like like pizza and shit like that.
You basically you watch yourself less. So.
But then the trade-off is that once you start cutting, unless you want to be like really big, that once you start cutting on a dirty bulk, you're probably going to have to end up cutting for a longer period of time to get the fat off.
Yeah. And how long you bulk? I told you before and earlier that I was gonna bulk for a couple months, but I think that really depends on how much weight you wanna put on for that. So I think that covers everything so far. I'm gonna be releasing more videos on just like foods that I eat and more vlogs about my process and what the progress I'm making. But for now, that is all.
Yeah.
See you guys later.
Alright.
Was it pretty good?
Yeah, let's see how long. I felt like that was... Actually, no. 7 minutes.
Okay.